Welcome. Happy Monday. It is yours truly, Sound Engraver, so I hope you guys are doing well today. I forgot when I was working on my music and some SuperCollider, I had reconfigured the audio. And I don't have YouTube up. It's just StreamYard. I'm going to maybe be on video for a little bit, but if my machine gets pretty warm, I might turn off the video. But if you can confirm that you can hear me, that you can see me, that it looks fine, we should be good to go. And I would really love to be on YouTube, but I don't want to. So until I receive confirmation, it's my 100th live stream. Yeah, okay, great. Confirmation by my wonderful prof. Look beautiful and sound great. And then actually behind me right here, that was a gift. That was one of my professor's first gifts where he has his coffee cup merch. And I've never used it because I've used it for this plant, which is of course Mario. You can see the Mario card there as well. I think it was a Valentine's card. So needed to add a little detail for the 100th stream, of course. So yeah, we're just going to be talking about experience with streaming and maybe some handy information on streaming, because I have learned really recently in the last few months what really would garner views as far as streaming, and then also building your audience and what actually people might not prefer as far as streaming, which it might be surprising, might be insightful, I don't know. But we'll go ahead and welcome the chat as per usual. Thank you, my prof. Congratulations on your 100th stream, my Tunuviel. It's been since 2020. I started streaming March of 2020. And of course, that was a pretty big time in history for all of us. And now it's been, a little over 2 years. I did take a couple months off last summer. And I think I took like a couple months off the previous winter. And so I probably would have had more streams than 100 by now if I just did it regularly. But sometimes I was sick, sometimes I was traveling, and all of that good stuff. And sometimes I just needed a break before a big move or something. So I could have had more, but I've had 100 streams now. And then also, I'm almost at 400 videos. So streams are a huge part of my channel as far as talking about commentary, popular art, culture, just art in general, maybe music, depending. And then, of course, I'll have weekly videos on either original music, sound experimentation, something like SuperCollider or Logic Pro, or maybe even a promo video, or just actually, I need to get back to my games, my video game soundtracks. I'll probably write a script this week and maybe record next week on one of the video games. So hopefully that is all good. And Big Al presents our friend 100. Congratulations, Sound Engraver. Thank you for the sun. Thank you for the sun emoji. And thank you, Go Team Ghost. Planet Forevermore. Nice avatar. Congratulations on 100 videos. Yeah, and I don't plan on stopping. I mean, this is a really fun way to engage with people. It's a really nice pastime for me. So unless something happened to my computer where I'd have to wait, to stream for a while, I do plan on streaming weekly moving forward. Dr. Y says 100 streams. That's a lot of little rivers. Now I have a trivia question for you or for anyone in the chat. There is a word for a little river or stream. And if you can put it in the chat, the first person to put that in the chat gets the prize, even though you just get my congratulations, my verbal congratulations. Audio is good. Good. All is well. Even better. We've got a new person here, Robert Centeno. I hope I am saying your name. Nice avatar. We appreciate the old original Han Solo. Great. Welcome, Daniel Heron. Hello. And congratulations on 100. Yeah, I would really appreciate this wonderful platform to award me with my constant streaming by monetizing my channel, but we haven't gotten there yet. So that's okay, though. I still, even if this platform never monetized this channel, I would still do it because I enjoy it. And then I also like to build my audience for things like my music and my science fiction and all of that. Now, I really do hope I'm saying your name correctly. Samuli Ulki? Sounds like a mythical character, and your avatar looks like a mythical character. Good morning, and congratulations to you. Well, good morning. You must be like either in Central Europe or Russia or in Asia, like in East Asia or something like that. So thank you. Welcome. I love to have people from, different parts of the world come in. That's great. Welcome, Schooner Tuna. It is good to see you again. Thank you. Thank you. And Ace, I did send you an email earlier today, Ace, on your question. So it was a really fast, email, but hopefully you found it helpful. It's not legal advice, by the way. It's not legal advice. But yeah, there's your email. All right, Final Fantasy. Thank you. Celebrate. Wait, no, how did it go? Celebrate good times. Come on. That was a terrible percussion. Randall Anders is in. Welcome. Thank you. Congrats. I mean, it's the congrats is more like I kept doing it. I haven't stopped. In fact, I think more people that we've gotten to know over the years have done way more than I have. But yeah. Private Eye is in. Yeah, it is. Normally 1K subs and you can apply, and normally they approve it easily. I don't know about the easily part, but in addition to the 1,000 subscribers, you need a minimum amount of watch time hours, not unlimited, but I think it's calibrated every 12 months. So if I have this correct, YouTube does require a calibration of 4,000, a minimum of 4,000 public watch hours every 12 months. So if you're not eligible yet, and then you miss that mark, you'll have to just it's not a once a year thing. It's just like, that's how I think about it, because I feel like I have lost hundreds of public watch hours over the last 9 months. It actually is. I have less than 200 public watch hours before I'm eligible. And it was sitting at 3,200 for the longest time this year. And now it's bumped up past 3,800. So if I just talk about more popular culture stuff, that would be great. But I do need to get back into things like soundtracks, video game soundtracks and stuff like that. Big Al is correct. Rivulet. I actually wanted to write an electronic piece that would have that name or the plural of that word. Oh, Finland. Awesome. And you got it pretty close. And the avatar is Solomon Kane. Oh, I probably should have known that, but I am not a mythological expert like my prof. Great. Oh, I bet. Yeah, good point. All right. Thoughts on more science fiction indie movies? Oh, well, let me answer this question, and then we'll get into the topic of streaming and what streaming is, or what I've learned from streaming that might benefit you if you wanted to stream live too. So my thoughts on science fiction indie movies. Okay, here's the thing, and Big Al knows this, probably to his chagrin. I love classic science fiction, but I'm really, right now, it's going to be a lifelong process for me. I'm really into books. I'm really into stories. For 5 years or so, I was into short stories in the major magazine publications. Then they got really political, like heavy-handed with their politics and stuff like that. So I decided to unsubscribe from the magazines. But I'm really much of I'm more of a science fiction reader and writer. Now, I will look at shows with my prof, like Babylon 5, Stargate, and then what did you just finish, Prof? Farscape, and so the older TV shows. I really don't know much about movies. Like I'm guys, I'll be honest, and my prof knows this. He's slowly working it in me to watch movies and television shows. I'm very slow about watching movies. I couldn't say what indie science fiction shows to recommend. So if you have any recommendations, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. Welcome, Zootopia. good to see you. And it's always wonderful to see you frequent. And then also KR, is it Rika or Rika? All right. So let's talk about live streaming. And then if we have time, I might do a rant if I feel like it. Cause I do have like, I have a, I have a rant or two that's just kind of been festering in my mind, in the back of my mind. But if I don't get to it tonight, then I'll do it as a either shorter stream on Sunday or as a fixed video. So we'll see. Yes, Big Al, it's true. You say, thankfully the prof is guiding you through the visual medium. Honestly, if I wasn't dating him, um, I wouldn't be watching as much TV. And by the way, just to give you some context, this probably irks people just by default. I only watch television or movies once a week, and that's when my prof and I have our date night on Sunday. I don't watch any shows during the week because I'm always if I'm not teaching or practicing the violin, I'm definitely composing and stuff like that, or doing this wonderful thing that is called YouTube. All right, yeah, I'm sure that prof is going to agree with you. All right, so we're about a little over 10 minutes in, so I'll get back to you guys after I'll just do this extemporizing or speaking. Excuse me, speaking off the cuff. Excuse me. I had pizza today. So talking about live streams, it's been really fun, especially with 2020, where everyone was quite to their own, really, besides working. But even people were working remotely. Some people were working in the physical space, but I was a teacher, and they did a huge switch from being in the studio present with the students, and then they said you're teaching online. So of course we all remember that at one point we were all secluded and in our homes, and then I just decided, well, I've been kind of feeling my feet with fixed commentary, what I call fixed commentary. That's not an actual professional term, I just use it. But fixed media, for instance, is an electroacoustic, like where you have a surround sound electronic music space, like in a hall. So they would say, oh, are you doing live electronics or are you doing fixed media? So this is live commentary. And then I would say fixed commentary. That's what I academically grew up with. So yeah, I was like, well, okay, it's not like I have more time on my hands, but I just need engagement. Like I would go to, actually no, church. I remember churches were closed. Never mind. Yeah, we were all secluded at that one point, besides going to the grocery store or whatever, and or walking around the lake. But so I thought, okay, let me just try this live stream. The reason why I got into live streaming really wasn't to get an audience, or actually, if it was to get an audience, I will tell you guys right now, I was so surprised that people from the Professor Geek community came to my live streams. I was hoping for people initially, not now, but initially I was hoping for artists, like people who worked in SuperCollider, for instance, or people who were in the academics. Now I realize, like 2 years later, that would not have been a good crowd for me, because they would have disagreed with everything I would say, and they'd probably spam me and attack me and stuff like that. Not every academic is like that, but let's just say discourse among the academics online is very sophist. People really want to contend with you and argue with you. So to my surprise, when I originally came in, I thought, wow, this is interesting. Professor Geek is here, of all people. He thought I was cute. That's why he went on my chat. But I was so humbled to have Professor Geek come to my chat initially, and then everyone else, like Big Al, came, and then people who listen to the prof frequently, they would come in. And so I was like, well, I love hanging out with Professor Geek's audience, but I don't think that's my audience. I'm more into music. And then it kind of, with live stream in particular, I started getting more and more comfortable talking about art in general, not just music related things. And then, popular culture. And then also really now, I think it's really manifested to something where it's socio political, cultural topics around an artistic idea or an artistic work, whatever the case is. So it's kind of become that. Now I'm always going to continue on with my original music content, my sound experimentation content, and then also my SuperCollider. I'm going to get back into SuperCollider probably as early as this week, which is great. I've been working on some stuff there. So I'll always have SuperCollider and Logic Pro on my channel, but it's been really fun talking about this. So over the 2 years and 4 months or whatever, I've learned what works in live streams and what might not work. And I'm, just a little bit of a disclaimer. Anything that I say that might be advice for optimal live streaming is not something I would even follow through just because my level of interest isn't in it. And we'll get into specifics here in a second or in a minute. Good night, Ace. Nice to see you. Hopefully you can catch the replay. But thanks for dropping by. So what was I gonna say? So I've noticed things that are more optimal for live streaming, getting a bigger audience, or getting an audience that is, tailored to, we're not an echo chamber here, but at the same time, we do share the same philosophies and maybe even politics or things. I'll say that carefully. I will say that carefully. Our common ground is popular art, between me and all of you guys. It was the same with Professor Geek and all of that. So we'll just get right into what would be optimal live streaming. What would be the thing to grow your audience. That it is actually a little bit technical. I realized. So again, I'm not saying this because I'm going to start doing it this way. But I've just noticed this about my channel and also other people's live streams, even people with 10,000 or more subscribers, with their live streams is pretty interesting to see. So what actually gets people interested in your live streams? There are two main things that I can think about. The first thing, I'll start with the shorter thing, the thing that needs shorter explanation. It is time. It is time. I've noticed that people are more interested in live streams that are between the 30-minute and 60-minute mark, or if they like a little bit of a longer form, between 45 minutes and 90 minutes. Anything exceeding 90 minutes, I have noticed for my channel, and then also for other channels, you see a level of interest just slowly decline, like the level of interest goes, or the attention span or the view duration of such a video gets shorter and shorter. So if my live streams exceed 2 hours because I'm really into what I'm talking about, then that's my choice. I love it, and I'll spend the extra time doing it. But I've noticed that unless you're talking about something controversial or something presently in popular art, like for instance, my 2 hour or more or longer live streams on Rings of Power it will get the views because you're talking about Rings of Power. But on the whole, if I were just to talk about a topic on art in general, I've noticed that people do hang out a little bit more between 60 and 90 minutes. So people we've seen people in the community here, people who decide, and it's their choice, but people who decide to stream for 2 hours or longer, there will be a drop off in attention and maybe even a drop off in views. That's just the nature. I think our culture is not really into long form commentary. I am. If the commentary is interesting, I can stay for 2 hours. Like if I'm cleaning my place or cooking a meal or doing a menial task that doesn't really require me to engage, I can listen to a live stream. I have a huge attention span for that kind of thing. I know most don't. In fact, our culture now is really into the shorter fixed videos. So, and I'll get into the shorter videos like YouTube Shorts and stuff like that. I'm not knocking it, but it's not my thing. It's not my thing. So that's the first thing. People, as far as views and view duration, like how long people will stay at your video or stay at your live stream. I've noticed people will hang out, give or take 60 to 90 minutes. If you're going up to 2 hours or going past 2 hours, people might tend to drop off, and that's just one thing. Now, is that to say I would stop at 90 minutes? That's my goal. If I'm finished, or if you guys are finished and we're done engaging, that would be my goal. But if it's just a natural flow, if I'm enjoying myself talking about things I like to talk about, 2 hours is fine. I mean, I'm fine with going 2 hours. I've been going 2 hours, you know, for 2 years now. So there is that. So that's the first thing. You got to consider that duration. I would round it to 90 minutes before capping it off to get the optimum number of views or view attention or duration. Now, that's not to say people won't come back to your videos for replays. I do that all the time. When it's just too long a live stream, I'm like, okay, I'll listen to this for 35 minutes and then I'll come back to it another day. That's normal. The second thing, I didn't know this until like a couple of months ago. And it's fine because I've been doing this, so it's great. Live streams tend to get the most attraction and the most attention when it's one person or a small ensemble, like 2 or 3 people, talking about something and talking about something very specifically. So, of course, my topic right now is live streaming and what it does and what my experience is, what I've learned from it. That's a very specific topic. I'm not all over the place. I'm not ranting about, every certain different story, or this political story here, this social story here, this academic thing here. I'm not gonna have a stream of 5 rants. If I ever have a stream of like 5 rants, they would be congruent in some way. That's just to keep it coherent. So people, I've noticed for my channel and also for bigger channels, like for people with 30,000 subscribers or more, their audience, and you guys too, I don't know, maybe you guys have a different opinion. They prefer listening to this one person or the same ensemble cast every time. So what does that mean? Well, and you have to talk about one specific thing. So as far as me being solo, this is me. You see my face. You don't see anyone else in here. You don't see a panel of 2 or 3 people. Besides having maybe a couple guests on in my history and maybe a couple rewatches, I think I did some Fantasia rewatches. Besides like just a handful of videos where I had guests on a panel, I've noticed that people, not just with my channel, but with other channels too, people will gravitate just to that one person. So actually, I'll use a specific example. I frequently listen to David Stewart, David B. Stewart. He's a writer, but he's also a commentator of really of a variety of topics. He's really an eclectic speaker, and he has his own audience. He's got about 40 plus 40,000 or more subscribers or whatever. And I think he has the same audience. I mean, I don't keep track of every name or whatever. That's just impossible. But I think from what I see in the chat, I think it's been the same people, and then more people come in. Now he said something that was interesting. He said, one person asked, "Hey, when are you going to have this artist come on? When are you going to have this guest come on? When are you going to have this writer come on?" And he says, "Well, I'm thinking about it. He and his family just moved. They had this huge move, and he's thinking about having guests on again on his channel." Now he did say though that he did not get as much attraction or attention even with professionals on his stream. So even when he would have top-notch artists, they were indie artists, but they were really good with their craft. Jesse White he's a illustrator who does professional inking, and his work is really phenomenal. So even with high-level professionals, David Stewart himself actually got lower views because the guests were on. This was not anything disparaging against the guests. This was nothing negative. This didn't cast a negative light on the guests he had on his streams, but people naturally, they went to see David Stewart talk. And I'm not saying that someone like Stewart didn't have a knack for interviewing or conversing with a guest or two. I think he was a teacher for many years, so he has a very he has a knack for communication. But I remember even some of these live streams he had where he would be listening. Naturally, he'd be listening to all these people answer his questions. And so and they were fine, but people just didn't have the same. David Stewart himself did not have the same viewership as he would have if he were just right in front of the camera talking about one specific topic. And then I picked up on that, and I sort of knew that for my own channel, but I also noticed this in the inverse, where you would have a channel with 10,000 subscribers, for instance, and they would do live streams, and the views to their solo live streams were a little bit higher, a little bit more than just kind of a hangout of panels. So I noticed with one person in particular who has a substantial following, his format for live streams is just people coming in. Like, I think StreamYard gives you the option, like the free usage of StreamYard gives you the option of inviting 10 people. I think up to 10, which is it's a lot. It's a lot. But I've noticed the more guests he had on, the fewer the views. If it was just him hanging out with the chat, like I hang out with you guys, if it was just the view, just him and maybe one more guest or a couple guests, or if it was like a famous person, if he'd have a famous person on or someone working with a famous person, if he had something like that, he would have more views. But as soon as he started inviting 8 or more people, the views actually dropped. And there was one time where I saw it where I'm like, I wonder if the views are actually the people on the panel. So there's that. I think people just gravitate toward the solo speaker. Now, if your channel is with a group of friends, if they're frequent in talking about just one topic, and they maybe talk twice a week or once a week, kind of like a podcast, like, outputting a podcast once a week. If it was a group of people, like 2, 3, 4, 5 people, but it was the same cast of people every week, that's different. What I'm saying is, if it's one person inviting different people every week, I just noticed that the viewership is not the same. People do prefer listening to the solo speaker. I actually do. Unless I see the same 3 people or 2 people every week, I would prefer the solo person, and then maybe once in a while have a guest. I just haven't really been in the position, or I haven't really had the interest level of inviting people on my channel. It's not that I'm against it or I wouldn't be open to it, but I noticed that it is a different chemistry. It is a different chemistry, and that's just a preference. So what do we talk about? What people gravitate toward? Shorter duration, so 90 minutes or fewer minutes than that, and then also the same person speaking one or 2 topics on a live stream. And then also if it is a cast of characters, it needs to be the same cast every time, because you're used to that group. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, anything else? This is an impromptu. I might actually check in with the chat, and then we'll get back into, I'm sure I have more to say. So far, looks good on my end. we'll see. See, like, oh, welcome, Jared. Hey, I've seen you from David Stewart's stream. Thank you. Oh yeah. Oh, you must be yeah. You guys probably are from Stewart's stream too. Jesse White did a great job on John De La Rosa's Day is Fault comic. I assume it was the same person. Yeah, same person, same artist, exactly. I know that might be a common name, but yeah, we're talking about the same guy. Final Fantasy, you say normally StreamYard would allow 6 people. If you would want 10 people in StreamYard, you would need to pay $20 a month. Oh, interesting. Well, thank you for correcting me. 10 people, though. That's actually what I want to say. Actually, you bring up a point that made me think of something else. Here's the problem with inviting like 8 to 10 people. Like, so if you had the capacity of inviting 10 guests on StreamYard, for instance, here's the thing, guys, you got to be hypersensitive about this, or hyper aware, I should say. We just came out of a pandemic where all of our discourse, be it social or professional, all of our discourse was online. What do you think looks like an array of 10 people? It looks like a classroom. It looks like a session. It looks like a meeting. It looks like a Zoom meeting. And that, as far as recreational, is not very attractive. You know, people might just have gotten off a meeting at work that looked like a guest panel of 10 people. So you got to kind of think about the functional aesthetics that way as well. So that's what I would have to say. I think I had more to talk about, so we'll just continue. Oh, Midwood says EF. Do you pronounce it EFAP all over again? I don't know who those are. Is that like a cast of people who? I understand they hate watch, so I'm not really into that. Well, maybe they. I'll be careful. Maybe they provide criticism and commentary that is criticizing the current popular TV show or whatever. So, okay. So, I think we will actually have time for a rant, but I felt like there was more to say. This is what happens sometimes when you're live streaming. Oh, hey, is it pronounced Azzy? Nice to see you. Lower interest when guests are on. I think that unless they are already tight friends, the vibe is usually pretty bad with a guest. Okay, yeah. Too polite, too afraid to accidentally insult or worse. Yeah, it's a different chemistry socially. Like, so if you guys have been on my channel for the last 2 years or whatever, you know my personality. I've loosened up a little bit. Like, sometimes, like, if you actually listen to my early SuperCollider videos, I have a teacher voice. My voice is kind of like this. It's this teacher voice. And actually, I do have that voice a little bit with younger students when I am teaching violin. But I've also relaxed a little bit more. I'm like, okay, this is not a classroom I'm teaching. This is just having a social chat in the living room. Yeah, but good to have you. I'm glad you are on. Oh, okay. So midway, I forgot to put you up. And yeah, they hate watch most of the time. It's somewhat more entertaining. Yeah, I thought that was more of an entertainment. Like, let's trash this. Ugh, I'm gonna forget how to pronounce this. Alois, can I just call you the viewer? Watched your vid about not being on Bandcamp. Oh, how has that been going? Was curious about the results. Yeah, I made a video on that like last year, and I would actually have to go back on what I was talking about specifically. I've loved it. Now the thing is, I can understand the appeal of Bandcamp, but I was under a record label. He was very generous with his pay cut. He would not take more than he needed to out of the overall pay. But that percentage on top of a pretty steep percentage from Bandcamp. Now it is Bandcamp is, I think, free to use if I remember correctly. And I do have a website. My website does cost me a subscription, like a monthly subscription to use. And so I actually am losing money keeping my music on a completely separate website. But like it would be worth it if I started producing music and releasing it and selling it frequently and getting an audience. Like I see the long term being very fruitful. Bandcamp also, this is just me, but Bandcamp has just this artistic face to it that I don't prefer, in that it doesn't represent everyone. Like, so this is kind of hard to, well, it's not really hard to explain, but I'll be careful when saying this. When I say the word artsy, that kind of brings an image to people's mind. Like you see an artsy artist, or you see like a person take their art very, very seriously, or you kind of see like, this is who I am as an artist. That's the kind of representation that is Bandcamp. That's just not me. Like I don't have to look a certain way. Like I look like this. With my hair pulled back, but I don't have to look a certain way to present electronic music. Like people might think, oh, you should do something like poetic and visual for your electronic music. Even my more serious kind of down tempo ambient stuff that I hope to promote in the future. And it's just not necessary. Like I'm gonna look like this producing electronic music. I'm not an artsy artist. And I think Bandcamp has that. And there's nothing wrong with having that on Bandcamp, but it doesn't represent every artist on Bandcamp. So I'm like, well, let me just do my own website. And yes, it is costing me more. I think I pay like $13 a month to keep my website up. Actually, with the host, yeah, it's about $18 a month. And I'm not selling music like that would even, make that yet. That's for in the future. But anyway, yeah, so hopefully that answered your question. I prefer it. I do prefer the setting. And now I'm not under a record label. So is the website? Yeah, I think it's the website that takes a little bit of a percentage, a very small percentage, compared to, because I pay it every month, It takes a much smaller percentage than if I were to be on Bandcamp. But Bandcamp is also free, so it depends on what your priority is, where your priorities are. All right. So yes. Yeah. So I've loved live streaming. By the way, guys, I'm only on StreamYard right now. I'm not on YouTube, and sometimes StreamYard skips comments. It just does. So I do apologize. So anyway, anything else about live streaming? Oh, let's actually talk about let's talk about the honesty of live streaming, in that our wonderful platform YouTube. Actually, I'm streaming on YouTube, but I'm not on YouTube. Well, that doesn't matter. YouTube, you're remarkable. I love you so much. But here's the thing: we got to be honest about where things are headed as far as social media. So, actually, it was before TikTok became TikTok. It was a website called Musical.ly, and this was like 2015 or something, or maybe it was 7 or 8 years ago. And Gary Vaynerchuk, the famous, over the top personality as far as business entrepreneurship, I remember listening to an audiobook years ago, and he said, you got to get on Musical.ly. So it was music.ly. I never liked that. It just didn't look right. But he's like, guys, this might not sound like it's a site, but you gotta check Musical.ly out. This is going to be the next big thing on social media. And I think Musical.ly, actually it did convert to what we now know to be as TikTok. Now TikTok is a huge thing. I'm not on it. I was never on Snapchat. I was never on Instagram. Never since not being on Facebook. Never have I ever gotten on TikTok. And never will I ever get on TikTok, even if it were to guarantee me thousands of views. I'm not gonna do it. Um, b I don't even think the possibility is there because just my interest in electronic music and then also social commentary like this, it's just not that's just not the thing for TikTok. TikTok is supposed to be these very short videos. It was very popular, like the most I checked it out like 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. I checked it out. I looked at the website and I was checking out the different videos and I looked at the trending videos and I was like, "This is dumb. This is so dumb." It's like especially with, like, the lip singing and stuff, and I was like, "I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna dance. I'm not gonna no, I'm just not gonna do it." I mean, I the only way I would do it is if it was, like, for a group event and someone else was managing it, and they're like, "Hey, join the group and dance or sing," or something like that. Maybe in that context. But for my own personal business, no. To accrue an audience, I don't need that kind of audience. I know people would say, "No, you really should consider the shorter attention span, or the shorter, video length or format, because that's where you're gonna get all the demographics, for your music or your writing or whatever like that." For me, TikTok is really it's the place for comedy, if you know what I mean. It's like people who share funny things or share witty humor, witty commentary, some skit, TikTok is a skit format, or a platform for skits. It works better when you're really hyper focused on that media. And so if people say, well, hey, if you had this X, if you had X number of views for your TikTok platform, then you'd probably get some more subscribers or whatever for YouTube. I don't see that being even a probability because people on TikTok, it's a different audience. People are there for a very, very different reason than they are on YouTube, for instance. Now, my level of interest as a viewer, zero, zero on the short format. I just don't. I don't need it. I don't. No, actually, I'll take that back. The prof, he shows me really funny short videos, and we laugh at the really short, really hyper funny videos. But that's like a social thing between him and me. I'm not gonna check it out myself. It's just not something I'm gonna do. So why am I saying this? Why am I talking about this? Well, um, YouTube. I've said this before. I love YouTube. It's my favorite social media. It's the thing I work in the best. Um, but man, it has a lack of self-awareness. um, it really tries to, as far as content creation, it really tries to not ham up. It tries to drum up the appeal of short videos. So of course you have YouTube Shorts. Again, it works if your channel has longer videos and it's comedic. It's YouTube Shorts are for entertainment, comedy, like, or I know comedy falls under entertainment, and then very short education. That's it. But I say that YouTube is lacking in self awareness is because content creators really do and really have been focused on the longer video. So the 15 to 30-minute long fixed commentary video, and then the longer live streams. Why I bring this up is that YouTube will um, promote different live streams of different channels that I view. So it will, no, I shouldn't say promote. It will put in my feed live streams that I might be interested in. So it's not ignoring live streams. However, it does not promote live streams like the insane promotion it does for the insane promoting it does for YouTube Shorts. YouTube is really trying to push their content creators to do shorts. Just for my own personal preference. I'm not into it. And so I won't do it. I think the only thing I could imagine doing something for YouTube Shorts is if I'm like in the backyard, for instance, and I film myself with a selfie. And I never do selfies. I don't even know how those things work. But if I do like a selfie and then I say something impactful regarding art, for instance, like if I had some sort of artist, messaging, social messaging regarding art or popular culture or entertainment, maybe. But I really do prefer the extra work for the longer format. So if you guys ever got into thinking, I want to live stream, I'd like to live stream and maybe get my own audience for the different things that I do, or if I have the same interests as other people and stuff like that, yeah, I should do some live stream. Just know we're in the years now where YouTube is prioritizing two things. Three things. YouTube is sorely prioritizing celebrities. Don't know why. Celebrities are dropping off YouTube, I think. I don't think, unless you're a YouTube celebrity, but they're trying to like promote like actual like A-list actors and stuff like that. It's just not working that well. It's not working like they thought. They try to promote celebrities. They try to promote authoritative sources like the major news outlets. No one's interested. Sorry, YT. No one's interested. So celebrities, news outlets. What was the third thing? I forgot my third thing. See, that's what happens in live stream. Outlets, celebrities, authoritative. Oh, probably just YouTube Shorts. So the shorter format. And content creators who've been doing this kind of stuff for years, they're frustrated because they do see the importance of things like live streaming and longer videos. So that's what I wanted to say. If I think of some more things, hopefully this is helpful. Oh, there is one more thing. Yeah, there is one more thing that I would actually like to talk about, and then we'll get into the chat. Okay, so I want to say what is so, not because I agree with it or because I would endorse it or dissuade people. Okay, persuade, dissuade. Okay, what am I trying to say? The next thing I have to say is actually an honest thing about live streams that I think people really might not understand if they want to attract a very big audience. So let's say you really want to be a YouTuber. Let's say you want to actually even have the wonderful goal of getting monetized and having it as a supplemental income, like a separate income to your part-time job or your full-time job. Okay, so if you want that, you've got to be honest with yourself, as I'm going to be honest with you, if that makes sense. You can use YouTube for community. So like if you're using YouTube to stream, just hanging out with people, like having people on StreamYard, for instance, and say, oh yeah, let's hang out with 5 of my friends, and then hang out with chat. And I love hanging out with you guys too. And people are saying, yeah, I want to hang out with I just want to hang out with like several people, just as like you would with friends in a living room, or like a social gathering or a little party or whatever like that. Now YouTube allows that, but you will not get the views, or you will not get the watch time, the hours that you need to get eligible for monetization. People, unless you're best friends with the person, and like you've known the person physically in the physical space, unless you actually personally know them, people are not going to become an audience of just a hangout. Because why? They have real life friends, in different areas, in college and work and different family circles and in church and stuff like that. They already have their own social circles in some way. And so if you want to really grow your audience, and I'm being serious, you have to think of YouTube more in a business marketing way, which means while you can enjoy hanging out with people, it can't be a social clique. I'm only saying this if you want to get monetized. I'm only saying this if you would want to grow your subscriber count. Like if you want to grow your subscribers and grow your watch hours to get monetized, you can't treat YouTube like a social click. It's actually, it's a community of sorts, but it's not a community like you would have in a college classroom. Like, oh, I'm hanging out with my college friends. Again, you're able to do that on YouTube, but that's not the thing that's going to get your views and your hours. And people, I think people, like one guy I really respect. He talks a lot about science fiction and stuff, and I have respect for him. I think he's a really nice guy. He's very much. I saw him do this on Twitter a lot before I left Twitter. He I think he started this hashtag because he would tag me when I was on Twitter. He would start this hashtag called growing together, hashtag growing together, or hashtag, actually on his handle it says we grow together. And you might even know who I'm talking about, but I won't, because I don't want to say anything that's disparaging, but it's not actually. I'll be very careful saying this. He says hashtag we grow together, or on his handle he says we grow together. We're a community. We're going to be successful together. When you're in a community that's more like a clique or a hangout, fine, have fun. It just will not grow your audience. Like, so if you, let's say you're a writer, or like you're a comic book creator, or you're like a graphic novelist, like you want to actually let's say you're really wanting to grow your audience to get out a graphic novel. You're so excited, like you have a 5-year goal that you're like, in this year I'm going to get this graphic novel out and it's going to be great. And so you're promoting these different social ideas on YouTube, on a live stream, on a fixed commentary video, and stuff like that. But to get your audience, like RJ from the Fourth Age, to get his audience, notice he's very specific with his content and he's solo. That's going to get your audience. You actually will not grow in views and in subscriber counts if you are in a clique, if you're in a social clique. So use YouTube to socially interact. But if you think, no, this is who we are, this is our clique and stuff like that, just know it can be done, but you will not get your subscribers up. I mean, if you do, it's very, very incremental. It's like 1 subscriber per week or something, or maybe 2 subscribers per week. And it doesn't matter how much you say, oh, share us, guys, share our content, share our videos, share my channel. I'll share your channel. Sub for sub. That was a phrase in the comments. That back when YouTube was like kind of the up and it was the platform for up and coming entrepreneurs. This was about 5 years ago, and I remember looking at these entrepreneur videos, and down the comment thread it would go, sub for sub. I'll sub your channel if you sub mine, and it doesn't matter. Like, just don't do that. It's not going to grow your audience. So that's a harsh truth, but, and I feel bad for kind of saying this because I do respect this one YouTuber that I'm talking about here. He says we grow together. We're growing as a community. And this is his choice. He would actually grow much faster. He would have, in time, like if he did solo with very specific content, he would have twice the number of subscribers. I know he would have twice the number of subscribers he has now in a year's time. But he will actually just slowly, as far as subscriber count, just like incrementally go up. No, that's his social thing. Like, he's fine. He's fine with doing the whole social click. But if you really want to build a business, like, hey, I want an audience, like RJ from the Fourth Age, he's at 20,000 subscribers or more now because he was steady. Every single week he would promote a very key topic and people would tune in. And then I think he does it like every Saturday night or whatever. He's been diligent posting every Saturday night or every Sunday. I think it's the weekend he does it. Every Saturday night or every Sunday. His audience expected a video every weekend, and he had not failed. Maybe there's like one time in the 3 years that I've listened to him, there's only been 1 or 2 times where he wouldn't have a video, and it'd be rare. So, um, so you know, like have your click like you would have your college click, but just know it will not up the views if you want an audience. And I say that with all honesty because it really can dishearten people not seeing the views go up or not seeing the subscriber count go up. I mean, I've spent hundreds of hours making content, editing my videos, recording my videos on whatever. Live streaming, actually, this is another hard truth. Live streaming is a walk in the park compared to fixed commentary videos. I love hanging out with you guys. This is no work at all to me. Like, boom, here's my computer. My microphone is all set up here, and I'm just chatting with you. And I'm going to chat with you soon. But that is the truth. If you want to treat it like a business and that you want to market an audience, like grow your audience for your art projects, if you do have the live streams that are social hangouts, that's fine. But here's what you got to do. Here's what you got to do. Now I'm gonna condense it a little bit. You gotta do weekly fixed videos, as I call fixed commentary videos. No live streaming. This is you record yourself doing something, you edit it, and you publish it. You gotta do it every week, and I mean every week. And you might have to do 2 videos a week. This is not including your live stream. To actually get your growth going, you have to do one video every week or 2 videos every week, not including your live stream. That's how you're going to grow. You're actually not going to grow with just live streams. Just saying, just being honest about that. And then actually, yeah, that I forgot even to mention that you've got to be frequent with your content. Like you have to, like, so for instance, people do expect me to show up on Monday nights. I always kind of feel bad when there has to be a schedule change or maybe I'm sick or something and people are expecting me to come on Monday night. And then I'm not showing up because I'm traveling or sick or whatever. I'm like, sorry guys, I got a out of town concert or whatever. So there's that, you know, some people do expect me to be on Monday nights or Tuesday mornings, whatever part of the world you're at. So it's frequency. It is frequency. You gotta treat it once a week, live stream once a week, and then produce 1 to 2 videos every week too to grow your audience. So let's get back to the chat. Just want to. Okay, my video's doing my computer rather is doing okay. All right. The viewer says that would have been a good time to plug your website. Gotta work on that promo game. I know, I should have done that. Yeah, I should have. You know, the thing is, I need to keep getting back. I do get back to my website to update it a little bit, but I really should be better about it, about updating and being frequent on my website. The nice thing is people can contact me through my website and I'll get it instantly on my business email. So that's good. But since you said that, why don't I go ahead and do that? Soundengraver.com. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Share, and then we'll get back to the chat. Share, Brave tab, Sound Engraver. All right, there we go. Here's a quick promo. This is, I know, one day I'll have a really artistic looking, like better looking website, but there's a lot of blue. And then we've got my River Sprint, which I released May, I think. That was my 2-track EP that you can get on my website. Music updates, my last update. See, like July 11th, 2022, and it's August 2022. And then I still need, to this day, I still need a professional pic, you know, like a cool looking artistic pic. I just have my bio there. Music, that's my favorite page because it's the most, you got all my music. Here's my, here's my EP, and then my 3 albums, and then my singles, and then my gallery, and then and then videos. What is it? YouTube. That's it. That little icon there. And then you can contact me. And then if you put your name and email and then a message on any question, it goes straight to my business email, which I check every day. So there you go. All right. Okay. Let's move along down the chat. Dr. Y says, I'm going to stick to YouTube. I can make videos however long I want to on here. And have you been making videos? Again, I love you talking about what you're working on in the historical sense, like the artistic and historical sense or mythological sense when you're working on your characters. And then when you're coloring, you know, that speed coloring. And then you have the really relaxing music with your voice and with the coloring. It's straight up ASMR at times. So I would continue doing that. I know you were more popular, however, for your, was it stop motion animation? I think you had a lot of views for that. Viewer says TikTok algorithm, if I can say that word, algorithm has more negative psychological impact on individuals than Facebook. You know, I don't even know about that, but anything that shrinks the attention span can't be good. Can't be good in the long run. You say, and I hope I'm saying your name Azzy, or is it Ozzy? I don't know. You correct me. Whenever I load YouTube without being logged in, it's a bit of a shock at the kind of stuff they promote. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sometimes by accident I'll be logged out. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Lots of music videos too, rap, R&B mostly, and sports. I mean, and the thing is, that's what YouTube is trending. That's what they want to be trending. But a lot of people just like, I mean, maybe I'm partial because of, you know, who I've come to know over the last couple of years, but like I love the commentary involving popular art. That to me is much more interesting and much more engaging than the next flashy 45-second music video. It's so, to me, it looks a little superficial. It looks a little bit artificial too. Like it looks plastic. That's what I mean to say. Yeah, I agree. Longer form content is more valuable. I do not like the TikTok like content. Well, that's the thing too. Again, there's a channel I follow where they're a comedic duo and they do long video formats, like between 10 and 15 minutes long, and their videos are really funny. And then of course they would have that format for the YouTube shorts, and it works because they're comedy. But because I don't watch the shorter format, I don't want to do it myself. I wouldn't know how to do it because I don't do it myself, or I don't watch it myself. D Pensac, welcome. Congratulations on your 100th stream, Engraver. Sorry for being late. That's okay. Better late than never. Oh, well, I saw Wolf10's name here. You say, for me, I got StreamYard for Wolf10 media streams. I use StreamYard for my friends on Wolf10's. Yeah, it's a nice way of, you know, coming together online. It's really smooth. Like it's a very user-friendly way. Oh, which way? Which one? Azzy, right? It's very interesting avatar. It's kind of cool looking. Dr. Y says, I released one video last week, non-dialogue, though I had a lot of personal things going on. I'm sorry to hear that. When things are tough or when things are really full, I really can't do more than just music samples as well. So I'm sorry about that. All right, so let me see if I can recap all of that, and then if there's nothing, I might save my rant. You guys can put it to a vote, but I might save my rant for because I do have a rant, but I don't know how well I'll say it tonight because my mind feels stuffed. It feels crowded. But until then, so you put it to vote if you want to hear a Engraver rant. But let's go ahead and recap what we talked about live streaming. Okay, so first is duration or length. So if your live streams, I'll go with the optimal. The optimal live streams, the live streams that will really get your attention and views and watch time is capped at 90 minutes. So anything between 30 and 60 minutes or 45 and 90 minutes, just that length. Anything going to 2 hours and beyond, I'll watch because I have the attention span, and if my level of interest is there, if it is there, it's that time is no problem, because even if I didn't have time, I could just come back to it, you know? So for me as a listener, 2 hours doesn't matter. But generally speaking, people pretty much they go away after 90 minutes. Let's just say between 60 and 90 minutes. And I'm not even talking about just the live interaction. I'm talking about replay as well. So unless you're saying something uber controversial or uber popular or uber trending. So length, keep it below 2 hours, below 90 minutes. The second thing for optimal attraction and attention is, if you're doing it solo, just do it solo. I think people really do love hearing people talk by themselves. There's nothing wrong with having a guest or two on board every once in a while. And there's nothing wrong with a cast of friends if it is frequent. But there is a condition when you have like a cast of 2 to 3 people. They got to be the same every week or every time you post. And the topic has to be either one specific topic, or if it is a series of topics, maybe 2 or 3 more topics, it has to be congruent. There has to be a theme. People really want a theme involved as far as the subject. So just remember, people, and it's not narcissistic to say this. It sounds strange. Don't feel like you have to. Don't feel like you are a prima donna. Madonna. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, prima donna. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Don't, or for women, but you know, for men, whatever. You're not a diva. You're not a narcissist for thinking, you know, actually my audience might want to hear just me solo, and so I won't have a guest except maybe once every few months. That's not narcissistic to think that, because people like myself going to other YouTube channels, I'm like, yeah, I'm here for this person. I'm here for this, you know, duo here. I'm not here for the guests. Or if I am, maybe it's a special occasion. And that's just me as a listener, as a viewer. So that's the optimal. If you want to grow your views, I feel like I'm redundant, but I'm going to say it again. If you want to grow your views, have your just have it be you. And then if you want guests, have it just once in a while. Have it be a special occasion. Make it a special occasion. And then under 90 minutes. Now the next thing to get your views is you got to be frequent. It is not enough to live stream for your YouTube channel. You've got to do weekly videos, and it has to be specific. So for me, SuperCollider, Logic Pro, anything I'm working on as far as original music, any sound experimentation, that's just who I am as sound engraver. So I always, even if it's like under 2 minutes, I always have to keep every week, just keep it up with one video a week, even if it's like a 45-second video. That's just the nature of keeping people interested. Like, oh, like people can say, oh, she's really active on her YouTube channel. When people see activity, this is key. When people see activity, like you are frequent on your channel, people will come. There's this one guy, I'm kind of worried for his channel. I sometimes forget he exists. He's got over 30,000 subscribers. He's got like 33 or something, last I checked. And he's a nice guy. I don't agree with him on everything, but I like listening to him. And he's actually a good interviewer. So if he has guests, okay. But again, I still like, I like hearing him solo because that's just how people like it. But he used to be frequent. And I would go check his channel like once every 2 weeks. And this last year, he's been on maybe once or twice. He's gone months without posting anything on his channel. And I'm like, how does he still have 33K in subscribers? Because he doesn't post. Now, here's the thing. If he does post, people will go to him, but his view counts are squashed. They are nothing what they should be. Why? Like if he at 33K did a video or two every week, he would have close to he would round it at, 8 to 10,000 views per video, depending on the topic. But that would be his average. I know, because people really his listeners are loyal to him. But because he goes months on end without posting anything, what a video that should be 15K, like 15,000 views, does hardly reaches 1,000 because he's infrequent. So frequency is everything. Frequency is everything. So yeah. I wish I wrote down bullet points because I lost my train of thought. But okay, what else? So we talked about frequency. Okay, and then the two bullet points of being honest. I'm saying this honestly. I love live streaming. I'm gonna do it for a long time. I don't see myself stopping live streams because I just love it so much. YouTube does not promote live streaming like it promotes YouTube Shorts. And I'm still not going to do Shorts. I'm going to do live streams. Just be aware. So if you do want to grow an audience and you think you can do the short video format, do it, because that's what YouTube is. That's what YouTube is trying to persuade its content creators to do. If it's not your thing, don't feel like you have to do it. Don't force yourself to do it. It would look contrived. If it is an honest moment, if it's like an authentic moment, like, oh, let me talk about art. Like, let's say I had like a profound idea, like, this is what's happening in our society. And then I had 15 seconds to say it. And there were deer in the yard because I live in the country. I'm like, hey guys, there's the fawns, the two little boy fawns, and I would post something. Yeah, that'd be fun, I guess. But that's the only way I could see the shorts. And the deer don't really hang out when I'm walking around the yard. All right. And welcome. We have a couple more people. What was the other honest one? Okay, so YouTube will not promote live streams like it promotes shorts. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, if you want to use YouTube as a community, you can. And you should, if that's your pastime and if that's what you want to do. But if you are expecting to grow your subscriber count and your views and your public watch hours, you can't have a social click. Or that can't be your only thing to get the views. Again, what gets the views? Fixed commentary. Excuse me. Let me mute myself. All right. I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Let's go ahead and go back to the chat. It's one of those things on live stream where you feel like you have more to say, but you can't quite get it at the front of your brain, the tip of your tongue. Yeah, you want to rant? There would be no hate. Sorry, my scrunchy thing just fell. One sec. There'd be no hate. Give in to the dark side. By the way, speaking of dark side, I could care less. Like I videos I used to like tap into on YouTube regarding Star Wars news, I just can't anymore. There is no emotion, there's peace. Wait a sec. Is this a Star Wars quote or like a famous quote? There's no ignorance, there is knowledge, there's no passion, there's serenity, there's no chaos, there's harmony, there's no death, there is the Force. Where did I hear that from? Is that from the Darth Bane trilogy? I know the prof would know. Wait, no, that's from Knights of the Old Republic. I knew it. That there, I know that there are some channels that will make one video a month and have 1 to 2 million subscribers. I knew the Mulan controversy. Oh man, there's this one Chinese girl. I think she's Chinese American, and she she raked in many subscribers. Like I think in 2 videos she raked in like almost 2 million subscribers because she was talking about what makes what is very not Chinese about the new Mulan remake and how it's really against Chinese culture or whatever. And she had a personality. She had kind of a character to her. She was in character. And then she did one for the 1998 Mulan. And those 2 videos, I should check out her channel if she's still doing frequent commentary. But those 2 videos got her over 1 million subscribers. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. So success sometimes is just a matter of luck. And sometimes we don't have it all ourselves, you know. Samuel Meyer, welcome back from the first day of the new semester. What's popping? Well, I hope you have a really good start to the new semester. Are you a liberal arts major? Or are you I was about to say, are you doing something more practical? The first Tales of the Jedi comic, then put into Knights of the Old Republic. Whoa! I feel like Professor would know. I haven't seen my professor. I hope he's still in. I wonder if he fell asleep. That happened a stream or two. No, just one stream. And then he's like, I hear you. I gotta type in. Anyway, yeah. I'll do a quick rant. And then we'll wrap it up here. But thanks, guys. Hopefully, I hope I said everything I needed to say, and hopefully it was insightful. But yes. So let's and it will be quick because I'm almost out of water. Prof is in. Nope, I'm here. Okay, so yeah, what I want to rant about. I'll try to rant. Yeah, it might be a really short rant. It might be a long rant. I don't know. But I've got a couple things on my mind, but I'll just talk about this one thing. Excuse me. Yeah, let me get my hair's feeling a little sticky because it's getting warm here. So something I really wanted to talk about, and I might even dedicate another short stream for this because I think it's really important. Just to put it bluntly, it is time to stop using logic when talking about the ideologues and the elites of Hollywood, of the political spheres, the major political spheres, the academics. It is time, guys. It is time to stop using logic with these people. No logic. There's no reasoning with them. There's no being rational. There's no having a debate. You know, there's no reasoning with these people, with these makers behind things like She-Hulk. So the current big to-do of our popular culture today is She-Hulk, and how I refuse to watch it, but I saw a YouTuber share a clip, and he's I think it was Young Ripa, and he shared a clip of this I don't even know the character's name, but the actress and the Jennifer, whatever, Jen, who becomes She-Hulk. And basically she lectures, she just kind of get like you can see like the minutia, not minutia, but the minute details of her, the flaring up, getting really hostile and really passive, not passive aggressive, actually getting aggressive with the character Hulk. I don't need to explain why there are so many problems with her even getting angry and feeling entitled that she can control her anger much better than the Hulk. I don't need to talk about that. What I need to talk about is people trying to justify who they are and trying to justify themselves in front of these insane writers who would put insane political propaganda behind something like She-Hulk. I'm hearing with Marvel, I've heard it with Star Wars, people all up in arms saying, I'm not sexist. I love women. We've always loved women. We love Ripley. We love Alita Battle Angel. You know, we love Lara Croft, or however you pronounce her name. We love Tomb Raider. We love all these strong female protagonists. We've always loved them. Always. And it would be just comment after comment after comment. And I'm like, you know what? Guys, stop trying to justify yourselves in front of these people. They don't care that you have loved women all of your lives. They don't care if you believe truly in your heart that you are not suffering racial prejudice or religious or ethnic prejudice. They don't care. They won't see it any other way. You can be pure as a diamond, and they will see you as clay. You could be so good and so virtuous and the most noble of people with no mark, no trace of prejudice, no trace of sexism, and they will still see you as the worst things on the face of the planet. Stop saying these things. Stop saying that you've always loved women. You don't need to prove it to them. Stop saying that you were never a racist. You don't need to prove it to them. They won't listen to you. They won't believe you. So you just should ignore them. Just ignore them. Now, here's the thing. This discourse that I'm seeing, they're actually not talking to the actual people who would accuse them of such terrible things. They're actually reasoning within themselves, like in their little community, saying, oh, yeah, I've always loved female protagonists. Oh, I've always, my favorite superhero was black. It's like, guys, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't have to feel like it's like this ritual that it's become where you're using this language. It's like saying, gotta be careful with my computer. It's like this ritual that's almost like public humiliation. Oh no, let me go ahead. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. 1 second. Double checking. Okay. It interrupted me on my rant. There we go. Okay. Got to make sure that the Wi-Fi is good. So anyway, so what I'm seeing with people on, more or less our side of the political spectrum, or what we think art should be as far as the political spheres or the popular spheres, popular cultural spheres. That's what I'm trying to say. Good, thank you. Coming in clear. Is that, so with something like She-Hulk, it's a blatant attack on people saying this prejudice exists, these men are the worst, and you got to think really ill of men, and it's all about the women being oppressed and stuff like that. They've got their tirade going with She-Hulk. They've got their political messaging going, and people need to stop justifying themselves in front of these lunatics, these ideologues. We know normal behavior. We know people by and large are decent human beings that would treat the fellow man and the fellow woman with respect. We know that's a normal thing. You don't have to like almost one up the other person and say, no, I'm not this at all. We know you're not. You don't have to say it out loud. We know you're not. Like, I know you think okay of female characters, And it's like, and part of their justification is that they would bullet point lists and lists and lists of characters who are women or who are of the, different ethnicities or different religions and stuff like that. It's like, I like this character. I like that character. I loved this actor. I love this director. I love this musician. This is my favorite musician. How can you say I'm this when this is my favorite musician? It's like, because they say it because they believe it. They've either lied to themselves until to the point that it's true, or they're going with this mob mentality because that's just part of their identity. Their ideology is part of their identity. What they accuse you of is part of their identity. They can't counter it themselves. They can't be countered with it. You can't even counterattack with the truth, because it's like, well, no, that truth invalidates my identity, so I'm going to hold on to my identity more, and I'm going to clutch it on tighter. They don't care who you are, really. They don't care about the real you. People who are not ideologues, who are not fanatic, who aren't lunatics, decent people all around you will, if you behave in such a way that is decent, that shows respect and decorum, that shows friendliness, they're not going to immediately jump and think the worst things of you. Most people in an actual social situation first think the best of people before you prove them otherwise. In the physical social sphere, you have to prove you're a loathsome creature. You have to do things and say things abominably. You have to get under people's skin. You have to get them uncomfortable. You actually have to prove you're a bad person in a physical setting. But some people just have this weird wall where, between the physical reality and the social media or the online discourse, where it's like, oh man, I gotta let them know how many women I like. Guys, it's the writers of She-Hulk. Stop it. It's the writers of Star Wars. Stop it. These people will think the worst of you and nothing will change their mind. Except the Holy Spirit. Only the Holy Spirit can change their mind. The intervention by the prayers of the saints, both living and in heaven. That's it. But until that happens, they are fixed in their reality, or their supposed, reality. They have their complete, unwavering supposition of who you are as a person, for good or for bad, for good or for ill, for better or for worse. They already have, and it's usually worse, they already have their fixed supposition of who you are. It doesn't matter how much you clamor to say how much you're not this thing. So people need to stop. That's the first thing. The second thing is people need to stop with softening their language. It's time to be firm with your language. So this might be a separate stream too. I don't know. It's time to be firm with your language. So I follow this channel, and he's a nice guy, and I'm disagreeing with him more and more and more. Not against his personality. I think he's a great guy. I won't give the name, but maybe you watch him. If I recognize the names, I wouldn't be surprised if you would go on his channel, because he's a good guy, and he does content on Star Wars. But he is a good guy almost to a fault. And here's what I mean. He is very friendly. He's very amicable. He's very positive. He's very diplomatic in presenting social things and political things. And I respect him for that. But because because of his friendliness, he's actually put himself into a corner where he has to kind of walk on eggshells just so not to upset a listener. So one example that I had heard him say when he's talking about, and I think he was talking about She-Hulk. He was talking about how, women and men are different. Biologically speaking, of course, we are different. And he was using this, he said it in this way, and he had a picture of He-Man and Teela when he was making this point, and I loved it. The classic 1980s filmation, He-Man and Teela. And he said, while he was making this point on the difference, but on the strength that Teela had during the He-Man show, he had to say this. He said, guys, now I have to be real. And I'm paraphrasing it, but he said, I have to be real. Men tend to be physically stronger than women. There's no tending to be physically stronger. Men are physically stronger than women. Sometimes you have women with high levels of testosterone or whatever. I think I said that word right. Sometimes. But it's a rarity. I've known my whole life of knowing many, many different people. I've known one woman who probably could take down a shorter man because she was so strong. But anyone taller than her, if he was pretty, built up, probably could take her down too. She was very strong. She would know how to break my neck in an instant. She was very, very strong. But that's one person I've known, and I've known many, many people in my life. This softening of the language. Oh, men tend to be physically stronger than women. No. Men are physically stronger than women. I know. I have a strong man as my beau, and I know he's much more physically stronger than I am. So it's the softening of the language. I don't mean be aggressive and antagonistic, but at the same time, don't feel like you have to walk on eggshells. The time is done. The age of I was about to say diplomacy. The age of apologetics is done. Don't apologize by your words and by your deeds. Rather be a virtuous person where your speech and your conduct, where there would be no reason to apologize for your speech and your conduct. You're not berating women by saying men are physically stronger than women. You're not. You don't have to say it in a smug way. You don't have to say it in an aggressive way. But don't walk on eggshells anymore. Be assertive in truth and in virtue. Be assertive in good deeds and in friendliness. But we have tolerated, by the way, I'm not saying we should have a cultural revolution. Well, actually cultural, not a physical. No, I'm not saying that. We have tolerated so much. We have tolerated way too much. And the chaos you see in the world is because we've tolerated too much. We are actually tolerating hate. People have been induced to believing that their righteous indignation, or that their hate actually is righteous indignation, like it's for a good cause, when it's simply just hate. And so I know that's an uncomfortable thing, but no swearing on my channel. Again, be kind, but be firm. It's like, so anyway, that was my rant. Hopefully that made sense. I haven't lost viewers, so I'm kind of surprised. All right, and then we'll wrap it up with the comments, and then oh, John Wayne, nice. How would he talk? Never apologize. It's a sign of weakness. John Wayne. All right. Excuse me. Good. Oh wow, people are talking. Good. So we'll run down through the comments, and then my computer's burning up. I probably should open the door. Let some cool air through. Coming in clear. Let's see. Now here's the thing, like midwit. I understand that line of thinking, like saying, well, they call me this, so I might as well just take the label. Here's the thing. They want you to react one way or another. The best reaction you can give these people is simply ignoring them. Don't counter them. Don't pull punches. They want you to pull punches. They want you to react because your reaction means you're taking them seriously. They want that. They want the headbutting. It's like, oh, you reacted to me. Well, yeah, I've got you. I'm controlling you now. And so I'm actually not even reacting to the ideologue. I'm reacting to the community, how people are feverishly trying to justify themselves. It's like, guys, you don't need to. I'm sure you are a decent person. Again, you have to prove. People in I will say this again, in the social circles physically, you have to prove to people that you're a bad person. But don't do that. Like, be a decent human being. All right. Samuel says, folks fighting ideologues be like, our weapons are useless, keep firing. Like, yeah, I don't want to say it's the cultural war is not, it's not a futile thing. Like, keep promoting good things and preserving good things. But when when I see people beat the air, it's like I'm like, home in your energy on something more productive. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I understand the initial, like, well, I might as well say this and stuff like that, but it doesn't assuage the situation and it doesn't solve problems. I can understand the gut reaction of saying, well, I might as well say I'm this because I'm this. Now, here's the thing. I will say this. Don't be afraid of their awful labels on you. So if they accuse you of bad things, don't cower. Don't don't try to feel like you have to defend yourself, but it's like, okay, you're just being silly or you're being a lunatic. You're crazy. You're speaking crazy. What you are saying doesn't make sense. I mean, that's actually, intellectually challenge them. I mean, when I say challenge them, unless you're face to face with that person, challenge them intellectually. Don't challenge them angrily. Now you might have to be forceful, like stop, like tell them to stop. But, and I don't mean physically forceful, by the way. But yeah, like you gotta counter them intellectually, or at least, conduct yourself in such a good way. Um, yeah, that's a good point. You can't talk people back to sanity. No, you can't. Once they've crossed over the river, it's like there's no going back. There's no coming back if that's what they've decided. All right. Let's see. When power is the only principle, there is no hypocrisy, which is all there is in the global philosophy. Anything globo is the to the globo. Is that a thing? I don't know. I'm not. Are you saying global philosophy? But the first sentence you're saying, uh, right? Okay, so that's the other thing too. As soon as they see you react, they've got the control. They have you. They have control over you. As soon as they see they don't have control over you, that you're not bothered by what they say, that invalidates their position in power, or it invalidates their reality. So if I'm, as a YouTube person, accused of the worst things, like if I get let's say people see the replay of this video, this whole thing that I had, and they call me the worst things, am I going to leave that up? I'm like, no, bye. You're hidden from my channel. You don't get the right to insult me like that. Whoa. Is it? Sorry. I mean, do I look like John Wayne though? I mean, come on. Big Al's weapons are rainbows, unicorns, and sunshine. Respectful but firm, a term lost on many. The prof and I are going through the documentary of the American Revolution. We've gone over that like the last month. I have such high respect for George Washington after seeing that. And we gotta be like George Washington. In short, be honest. Be honest to your friends and colleagues, including yourself. Oh yes, thank you, Prof. Thank you for reaffirming what I mean to say. Hopefully, it made sense. She means don't punch at all. Pull punches. If I could say this, pull punches means punch in a weak manner so as not to hurt the person. I don't even know if I use that phrase right, but I can't remember right now. Yeah. So what I mean is the discourse that I've been ranting and railing about, where people are trying to justify saying, no, I'm not this. You're accusing me of this. I'm not this. It's a reaction. So just to conclude this rant, the thing is to not react. I've had people troll me, not even on my channel, but on when I'm commenting on different channels. And what do they want when they, and I can't take it down because it's not my channel. And I don't spam them, I don't report them or whatever. I don't do that. When you see they want to fight, they was like, I want her to react to this. I told her she was this in front of all these people because it's a big thread. They want my reaction. I'm not going to give it to them. Even more, it's kind of fun to react to other people in the thread and then not react to that person who was trolling me. That's a little satisfying. All right. Okay. Goodbye, Go Team. And we're wrapping it up soon. Let me catch this one. A couple other things. Often in order to not focus on one's failures, insecurities, etc., people often embrace great causes in order to achieve some sort of purpose. And I'm like, Schooner Tuna, you're kind of hitting it on the head. I just wish people, this would be so good for our society, is to for people to do the thing to do that is virtuous is to put all that energy in to something creative, something that is meaningful to you and to society, whether that's an art piece, practicing an instrument, teaching a classroom, taking up art lessons, cooking a meal for people. Like, learn to make soup. Learn to make soup. Bag up the soup and give it to the homeless in your community. That would be so much better than retweeting stuff on Twitter. Anyway. But we are addicted to hate. That's the sad thing. I think some saying goes like, the opposite of love is not hate, but indifference. I know what you mean by that saying, or I know that saying. I'm trying to contextualize it here, but in any case, I hope you like that. So as a celebration, we got a couple rants in, so we'll see how that might be a short video. I'm not sure. So thank you so much. I'm going to work on just some things going up on my channel. I'm working on a little bit of SuperCollider stuff. I'm troubleshooting. I'd actually like to, I have this project in mind for SuperCollider that you guys might like. Even if you're not into SuperCollider, this would not be a SuperCollider demo or instruction video. I'd actually like to do something a little more experimental that maybe you would enjoy, but I'm not going to, I don't want to say what it is because I'm still troubleshooting. So we'll see how that works. So anyway, yes, good. We're going to end it on this positive note, midwit. That's why I do writing. Exactly. Just put all the energy and angst you have against society and just put it into writing. Awesome. All right. So anyway, be on the lookout for something SuperCollider related or music related this week. And until I see you next, keep producing and preserving the good art that you love. And I'll catch you later. Bye.